Hello, denizens. Welcome to Call Me Chato. I wasn't planning on doing a follow-up to my Facebook Metaverse video, but a couple of things happened. As is usually the case, once I put a video to bed, I invariably come up with more thoughts as I sort through my emotions and read the great comments from you, my denizens. My second thought's inclusion was that I found it ironic that the visionaries who are building rockets and sending humans into space seem to be more grounded than Mark Zuckerberg's free fall into the Matrix. Some of your comments included, frivolous. Didn't Sony try this? Is Second Life going to sue? We are lonely and lost now. How is this going to make us less lonely and lost? Isn't this going to make the divide between the haves and the have-not bigger? I can see this being useful for elderly shut-ins. And finally, the most important comment, I wished they would have stopped moving their hands and arms so much in the video. Another second thoughts included making clear to anyone not realizing what they were watching in Mark's Horizon Metaverse video was the sheer volume of CGI computer-generated content. Yes, of course, the Metaverse is CGI generated, but it's supposed to be real-time, live, while at no time did Mark assert that what we were watching was the real deal, as in it's available now. I wonder how many people actually thought that this was available now and not pre-rendered like a Marvel movie. Yes, Marvel movies are fake. I don't want to shock anybody. It also bugged me how the presentation showed people wearing AR augmented reality style eyewear, whereas a lot of the stuff they showed couldn't be done unless your eyes were fully covered in some VR box. It was a bit of a bait and switch, including a quick glossing over how they planned on capturing hand movements. It looked like they were working on it, but for now, you'll still have to use some kind of handheld device or gloves with embedded sensors. Letting the presentation soak in, I was suddenly struck by the effort and cost of this thing, or that thing. The scale of presentation for an hour and 17-minute video with these production values and special effects, well, it's huge. The editing time alone would have been significant. How many retakes did Mark have to do? The locations, the lighting, this was big budget stuff. Was Mark influenced by Apple's unlive shows? I think so. How long ago was this conceived? How long did they take to shoot it? I mentioned in my first video it was clear just how much Mark wanted to be the star of this presentation. I pictured Facebook meetings where nobody wanted to tell him it was a dumb idea. Then I envisioned a scenario where Mark and Elon Musk were sitting in front of me, Mark pitching his Metaverse idea, and Elon talking about developing a stainless steel rocket ship that would go to Mars, mine hydrogen, generate oxygen, fill up its fuel tanks, and return to Earth, and thinking, Jesus, Elon's idea was actually doable. For one thing, we have the computing power now to do what Musk wants, whereas Mark's vision will require a massive increase of bandwidth, computing power, and enlarged server farms. The metaverse requires millions of participants to make it viable. Elon's Starship only needs a handful by comparison. When a mission to Mars makes more sense, I think you're in trouble. And speaking of VR, we pitched a computer game back in the 90s about a mining planet that the Xterra Mining Corporation would scoop out your brain and send it to the planet in a rocket ship because it was cheaper to send thousands of brains in boxes than humans. Stick your brain into a jar, connect electrodes to it, and you'd control a big mining robot using VR on the planet's hostile surface, with the promise that your body would be in storage waiting for your stint to finish, whereby you'd get a big paycheck and have your brain returned to Earth and reattached. Of course, the mining company never had any intention of returning your brain and incinerated your body as soon as your brain was shot into space. No one picked up the game, unfortunately. The question we have to ask ourselves is to what end do we need this Horizon Metaverse? What problem is it solving? Will sticking yourself inside a Metaverse Zoom meeting make it better? I don't know. Don't forget, Facebook's DNA included Zuckerberg's first website that ranked hot girls. And speaking of which, where would porn fit into this metaverse? Let's not forget that the mass adoption of many technologies was juiced by the porn industry. VHS, DVD, the internet, e-commerce. Will there be an adults-only section? I would say yes if Meta wants to make any moolah from this venture. On the other hand, as I speak, Mr. Beast, the famous YouTuber, has started an initiative to remove 30 million pounds of trash from the ocean before the end of 2021, which the Chato family has proudly contributed. Am I making any kind of moral equivalency between what Mark is doing and Mr. Beast? Oh, but I'll leave that to you to decide. Till next time, denizens, be seeing you.